Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome back to the trial of Miles Edgeworth. Christmas Eve, just after midnight, technically makes it Christmas. Yeah.
Objection!
I know you want to find contradictions, but really... Yeah... That was a bit of a nitpick. You were in your car? Why were you camping there anyway? I'm a research student at my university. I was taking pictures to use in my research. What research? This all sounds suspicious. Ms. Hard, could you please be more specific about your research?
Objection!
What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with this case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained. Oh, wait now, I'm the one who says that. Well then say it already. Objection sustained. Thanks for nothing, Your Honor. I heard this bang come up from the lake. Right. So you weren't looking at the lake at that time? Nope. I looked after I heard that noise. She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. I'll find something. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Could you clearly see the two men? Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you? Uh-oh. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men. Yeah, well, of course. The witness has testified that she saw them. There's also a photo. You'd best look somewhere else for your precious contradictions. He's covering something up. Then there was another bang. Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out? Well, yeah, sure. You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless. Contradictions, Mr. Wright, not meaningless babble. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end? There wasn't nary a thing on the lake but that boat. Are you sure about that? Yeah, sure as a country gal can be. That sounds pretty sure, but how come you're so sure? Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake. Scanned the whole lake? Almost sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boat. Ms. Hart, you... Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the question in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained. That's what I'm... Sustained. Yes, of course. Great. Enough, I think we've heard all that we need to hear. Seems you are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting. But Your Honor, you will keep your promise. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid that I will have to penalize any further outbursts by holding you in contempt of court. And if that happens, you'll have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood. Nick? Lotta's testimony is fishy, Nick. Real fishy. I know what you mean, but if I can't say anything, what can I do? I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision. Then pass your judgment. Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand. Hold it? Who was that? It was me! Maya? Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities? No, I do not. Lotta Hard, your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. This is a matter of life or death. Lotta, did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol? You will stand down. The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst. Answer me, Lotta! What's the big idea, treating me like some kind of criminal? I saw him, I swear it. I saw Edgeworth. Enough. Judge, declare the defense in contempt of court. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of the courtroom. He is in contempt of court and must leave. No. No. Wait! I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent. What's the difference? All that remains is for the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wrong. What? Did you hear what Ms. Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony. That changes her testimony, and I have a right to cross-examine her again. Order, 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 order! You're in contempt of court. It's too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Karma, but I cannot. What? Ms. Lotta Hart has made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again, but he is in contempt of court! No, I am. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me. Very well. Maya Fey, you will leave the courtroom immediately. Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck. Maya, that was a very bold move. I care not for this melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate badgering of my witness. I'm running out of time. I'd better find a contradiction in here or else. So, about that last statement. I saw it clear as day. The man on that boat was Mr. Edgeworth. That's it? That's the entire testimony. You saw it clear as day. Funny, this photo is pretty damn foggy. Objection! And that is a contradiction. Gotcha, Miss Hart. Finally. What? You got what? Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. The photo I took? The very same. There's something I want you to see in this photo. It's quite clearly visible. The fog, Ms. Hart. So? This picture was taken with professional, high-quality film, correct? Yet even it could not capture the faces of the men on the boat. Yet you claim you saw Mr. Edgeworth? How? What? Mr. Wright has a point. That's why I told her not to say that in her testimony, please. Yet now she has said it, Mr. Von Karma. How could you possibly see Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself. Ms. Hart? What? Could you see the defendant that night? Of course. I said I could and I meant I could. Then please testify as to the circumstances of your sighting. I did it. Finally found a hole in Von Karma's carefully vague testimony. You're right. It was a cold night and the fog was thick as grits. So once I was finished setting up my camera, I got back in the car. Still, I brought my binoculars with me. When I heard that noise out on the lake, I looked with my binoculars. See? No problem. You used binoculars. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Huh. Your camera? Yeah, it's got an automatic... The issue we are concerned with here is Ms. Hart seeing Mr. Edgeworth. The camera has nothing to do with this at all. Objection sustained. It's not letting her answer my questions. Binoculars? Yeah, binoculars. Yesterday you mentioned that you were out looking for shooting stars, correct? Well, yeah. Wouldn't you need a telescope, not binoculars for that? I've got doubts about your camera too. Is that really to take pictures of meteor showers? The camera is irrelevant to this case. You can't say that for certain. Mr. Wright, is the camera really relevant to this case? If you believe it is, you may continue with this line of question. If you find nothing there will be consequences. I will press further. The camera is of utmost importance, Your Honor. It is perhaps the key to this entire case. Therefore, I will continue my line of questioning. Very well. Ms. Hart, you will testify to the court about the camera. Yeah, I hear ya. The camera was set up to take pictures of a meteor shower. Ms. Hart, what made you choose that lake to photograph meteors? You know, the fog gets thick on that lake. It's not very suited to stargazing. Yeah, well, you see, I guess I wasn't thinking too straight, huh? Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness because of her challenged intellect. Now wait a minute. Continue your testimony. You were saying how it was that you saw Edgeworth? No unnecessary comments, please. When you heard the noise on the lake, you looked with binoculars. If there was heavy fog, how would binoculars change that at all? What do you mean? Even binoculars can't see through fog. But you say you clearly saw him? I did, yeah. Enough! There is no room for doubt in her testimony. She sounded pretty doubtful to me. But I have to find a clear contradiction. I have to present evidence. Takes a picture when a loud noise is detected. I don't know if meteor showers actually make loud noises. And then, this article. I do recall it mentioned there was a loud bang when Gordy appeared. She wasn't looking for meteor showers, she was looking for Gordy. However, I don't think I can prove that. I will attempt to present her camera. You were photographing shooting stars? That's a lie. Says who? I saw the camera you set up yesterday. It was pointed directly at the lake. You have to point a camera upwards to take photos of the stars, Ms. Hart. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? The witness was not at the lake to photograph shooting stars, Your Honor. Well then, what exactly was she photographing? Your Honor, take a look at this. You see, she was photographing Gordy here. I knew it. Take that! Ms. Hart, this is what you were trying to photograph. What's this, a newspaper article? Gordy. Ah, the sighting at Gord Lake. Well, Ms. Hart? I never heard of no lake monster. You got proof or something? Let's see your proof that I was down at the lake trying to photograph this Gordy. I have it. Proof. Intriguing. Let's see it. No joking around this time. The camera's set up to detect loud noises. The proof, Ms. Hart, is your own camera. Your camera was set to take photos in response to loud noises, correct? Thus, this photograph here was taken when a gun fired on the lake. And here, this article about Gordy. According to this article, Gordy made a loud noise when it emerged. Well, you were trying to photograph Gordy, weren't you? That's why you had your camera set to respond. You had set your camera to respond to loud noises. Ah. Order. I see. I too thought it was a little strange. Yeah, sure you did. Well, Miss Hart? You were camping there to try and take a photo of Gordy, weren't you? Yeah. Not bad. Are all you lawyers that smart? So smart, boy, I was there trying to photograph Gordy. You got me. So what? Huh? That don't change what I saw, does it? Exactly. What you just used several precious minutes of our time to prove is nothing more than the witness is an idiot who thinks monsters exist. Hey! But as she so succinctly said, so what? It changes nothing. Not true. You were hiding the whole thing about Gordy for some reason. I know it. But what could it have been? Whatever it is, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Ms. Hart, why did you hide the fact you were searching for Gordy from the court? Please revise your testimony. Right, fine, I'll testify. Won't change nothing, though. Something will change. It has to. And I'm going to spot it. Actually, I'm not a research student at a university. I'm an investigative photographer. Imagine what a scoop it'd be if I got a picture of that monster. That's why I was camping out by the lake. But that's all I was hiding. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight out at that lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched that boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands, and I heard another gunshot. I was looking right at that boat the whole time. Crossed my heart and hoped to fry. Interesting. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine. The witness's testimony is unchanged from before. Whether she is a research student or a photographer has no bearing on this case. There's no need to waste more of our time with another pointless cross-examination. I claim the defense's right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, you may begin. You seem sure of yourself, you must have something in mind. That'd be a first. Haha, very funny. You understand that this is your last chance at a cross-examination, Mr. Wright. If there's no problem with the testimony this time, we will let the witness leave. Why did... Okay. I will announce my verdict at that time, Mr. Wright. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So... Not a research student, investigative photographer. Get your photo, sell it to the press, that kind of business. The UFO. UFO. Finally pressing the last statement. Nothing on the lake but the boat at that time. You don't think he was shot from somewhere else? Lake was smooth, nobody on the shore. There has to be some contradiction here. Phoenix thinks that I should give evidence on her saying there wasn't anything else to look at and she watched the boat. Because why would she be interested in the boat if she's looking for Gordy? But what evidence do I have that she would be looking at something else on the lake? The only thing I can really think of is the overhead map would show if there's a different place to look at. But even then, what would she be looking at? The samurai dog stand? Because nearby was where Gordy originally was? Maybe, but that's a stretch. She could have been looking at her camera to get the... No, it's not a digital camera, it's actual film that develops. Then she'd probably spend the time developing the film to see if Gordy was out there rather than staring at a boat. Maybe? Well, I'm about to take some penalties. Looking at that camera? No. I've got to make some accusations. I've got to find something. Okay, it was the article of Gordy. Ms. Hart, were you really looking at that boat? What's with you? Course I was looking at it. It was the only thing out there. Any normal person would be looking at it. I agree. Any normal person would. But you are far from normal. What? You don't want to step over here and say that? You were camping at the lake to take a picture of Gordy. Think about it. What would you do if you heard a loud noise? You'd be scanning the lake for any sign of Gordy, that's what. You wouldn't give the boat a second thought. I had to present the same evidence that I presented on her last contradiction. Ooh. Order, continue, Mr. Wright. You testified that you were watching the boat through binoculars. However, you wouldn't need binoculars to watch that boat. You needed them to search for Gordy, and that's what you were doing. Well, I don't think I've proven anything different than the previous statement proved, but, well, now that y'all mention it, I did sorta take my binoculars and kinda scan the lake a bit. I mean, Gordy might be out there and all. Ms. Hart, are you saying that you were not watching the boat then? Sorry, y'all. I wasn't fibbing, really. I thought, you know, I could be a witness to a murder and all. I kinda got excited. I was sure I was watching that boat. Till now. This is totally uncalled for. But hey, you got the photograph, you got proof. Still, we can't see who is shooting who in this. Right. That's why I took this photo and... Witness, that's enough. You've had a long day. Shut your pie hole. Shut my what? What was she going to say? She took the photo and what? Wait a second. She even had a photograph to prove it. But you really can't tell from the photo who is shooting. That's why she said she's going to enlarge the photo. She said, It'll drop the quality a mite, but it should let us see who's who. She enlarged that photo. I don't remember that ever being said, but why won't Von Karma let her show it? I've got a hunch. Bet that enlarged photo shows something bad for Von Karma. This is my chance. If I'm wrong though, it'll mean prison for Edgeworth, or worse. Make her show that enlarged photo. Ms. Hart, look at this photograph. You enlarged this photograph, did you not? Yeah, I did. Why has that enlargement not been presented to the court? Because it does not exist. What are y'all talking about? You were the one who told me not to show it in court in the first place, you old fool. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Von Karma? Ms. Hart. Show the photo to the court. Show us the enlargement. The prosecution objects to the submission of this evidence. Objection overruled as the witness will show the enlargement to the court. Here it is. We still cannot see who is firing in this. It could be the defendant, or maybe it's not. Regardless, I'll accept this as evidence. Have you spotted it? Because I have. Happy now, Mr. Wright? There has to be something. You asked for the enlargement, you got the enlargement. And little good it has done for any of us. You know what's wrong with this photo. That's why I requested she not show it. No, you're hiding a contradiction. The cross-examination is not obviously over. We're not closing this. None too soon, flagrant waste of your time. Do you have anything to add? I stated everything I needed to when this trial began. Decisive evidence, a decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. Then I believe it is time for me to declare my verdict. Wait, it's not supposed to go like this. There has to be a clue in this photo. Somewhere. Bears prints from Edgeworth's right hand. Take another look at the photo. That's not Edgeworth's right hand. That's not a right hand at all. This is bad. Real bad. What should I do? Show other evidence. Wait, Your Honor, this evidence... I believe we have spent enough time talking about evidence. Indeed. We've heard opinions on every piece of evidence, but this enlargement, I see no point in retracing our steps. Objection, I guess. There's something decidedly strange with it. There we go. Show other evidence is also technically correct, because I'm showing evidence to contradict evidence, but whatever. What might that be? Mr. Wright, you will show the court what you mean. What about this photo is strange? Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, it's right here. Look at this man's hand. Here, Your Honor. The shooter? I'm not sure I understand. What about the shooter is strange? Look at the hand holding the pistol, Your Honor. The hand? That hand directly contradicts another piece of evidence. This man's left hand does what? Let me show you. I'll show you the evidence that left hand contradicts. This gun I found! The evidence is clear. the man in this photograph is holding that pistol in his left. However, the prints on the murder weapon were from Edgeworth's right hand. Ergo, the man shooting the pistol in this photograph is not Mr. Edgeworth. Got him. Now that everyone in the courtroom has quieted down, I would like to reconvene this court of law. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've given us definitive proof today. We now know that it was not Mr. Edgeworth who fired the pistol that night. However, this leaves us with a rather large problem. If Mr. Edgeworth didn't do it, then who shot our victim? Precisely. As we have seen, there were no other people on the lake that night. Who but the defendant could have shot the victim? Well, I'm not gonna incriminate my best friend. Ms. Hart didn't do any shooting. So, the only thing I can do is propose Edgeworth's original theory. There's only one explanation remaining. The man who shot the victim was none other than the victim himself. Order, order! So you're saying that the victim committed suicide? Yes, Your Honor. I can think of no other explanation. Indeed, that does seem to be the only remaining option. I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright, but suicide is out of the question. What? An examination of the victim's wounds reveals the distance at which he was shot. The distance? The victim was clearly shot from further than a meter away. A meter? That's 3 feet. Why is that relevant? There is no way it could have been suicide. Order, order. Mr. Von Karma, are you sure of the accuracy of your data? Of course, I'd already considered the possibility of suicide, you see. Shot from approximately 1 meter away. I see. Very well, allow me to state my opinion. Considering the situation, the shooter had to be the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth. However, the prints on the gun revealed that the shooter was not Mr. Edgeworth. This is a conundrum. Therefore, I would like to suspend proceedings for this trial for the day. The court orders the defense and the prosecution to further investigate this matter. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. That is all. The court is adjourned. And with the court being adjourned, I will see all of you in the next episode. Bye.